Tell us, how do we get a hold of you, and how fast and easy is a transaction?
And I appreciate that, Franco. Yes, we are in Chicago, just outside of Chicago. We've got a large warehouse there. We have hundreds of machines in stock all year round, and we sell out a few models, from time to time. But we will most likely have something in stock for you. And typically on a non-holiday spike of traffic or whatever, we will ship that same week. So you order on Monday, it's going to be probably shipped out by Wednesday.
Hello, everyone. We are pretty excited about learning a new partnership that we can do, or a partnership that some ATM operators have been part of. I have Andy Denton, owner, CEO at CandyMachines.com, selling thousands of amusement machines every year. Candy Machines is the nation's top distributor manufacturers of claw machines, gumball machines, toys, and candies. You are a one-stop shop for your amusement route. Andy, tell us about yourself and tell us how we can work together.
Oh, Franco, good to meet you, man, and good to be connected. Yeah, so I'm actually new into this industry. I bought the business 2 years ago. I've been an online entrepreneur for most of my career. What I'm finding is that most of our street operators on the ATM side and on the vending side are all kind of entrepreneurial at heart. Uh, and I was never good at having a boss, so wanted to have a company of my own, and here I am. But it's a fantastic business. Candy Machines has really made itself known in on the mini crane. We've come out with a innovation on the payment side that to really allow mini cranes to kind of take get very popular. The reason why the mini crane is important is one, square footage space. It's literally 1 square foot. You can put it just there's really no excuse for any location to say no, that they don't have space for it. It's 1 square foot. But two, it's it monetizes very well on a very small footprint. Almost as much or more as some of the larger machines you might see out there. So the bang for your buck is pretty phenomenal. And where Candy Machines really got its roots is really making the payment side intelligent, gaining rich analytics out of this small machine, so that an operator can operate this machine from remotely from their phone. You can leverage the payment side, the NIACs or Cantaloupes, or even now we have QR code payment systems, and we have a wiring harness inside of all of our machines where it gains this rich analytics. So from the palm of your hand, from on your phone, you can see how many prize wins. You can get alerts when a major prize is won, but allows you to do things at scale, whereas you couldn't do before. So that's where we kind of gain notoriety, and now we sell thousands of machines a year. And we're finding that ATM operators have found us over the last 12 or 18 months, and it just seems like a perfect marriage. You've got small machines about the same size. Ours are probably a little bit more economical, but the real estate to be able to roll, and the fact that you already have locations, then be able to roll those machines directly next to your ATMs, seems like a really great pairing.
So we are very familiar with a dashboard that tells us the inventory on the machines. It tells us the sales, and it tells us if there's an issue. Are you telling me that you have a dashboard that tells me the inventory and what kind of prices have gone out and how to go back to the placement to put more inventory?
Yeah, so over the last 5 or 6 years, we've leveraged our payment processors partnerships to gain that information. So that is where the telemetry exists inside the machine when you attach a NIAX or a Cantaloupe card reader to your machine, and we can take those. We can we can give all that information using their Pulse technology into that app. So if you have a machine on route, if you're just doing cash, you won't get that remote access into that. But currently, we leverage the card reader. Soon, in the next few months, we are launching some technology where we'll be able to provide that in all of our machines independent of the card reader. So this is going to be helpful in many ways because one, you'll get the same rich analytics that we could get through the card reader, but now you can control the machine too. So if you are seeing that the machine's winning too frequently, you can change the win ratios, you can change the call strengths all remotely from your phone. And that in itself is going to be another significant jump in the street operator business, allowing you to work more efficiently. So now, currently, if let's say you get your location says, "Hey, your machine's acting up. I don't know what's going on." We've heard people have to get in the car and will drive 2 hours one way just to go reset that machine. Well, now you can just push a button on your phone and you don't have to get in the car. So this is going to allow you to scale your route much more efficiently with less manpower because you'll be able to do that most of what you would need to do in person remotely from your phone.
That's excellent. So I am a customer of Cantaloupe, and is that the only charge that you get, like the $9.99 per machine, or and the connectivity, or what is the cost to run and operate a unit?
Yeah, so our machines range from anywhere from $1,000 to just under $3,000 retail. You're going to add a card reader and bill acceptor to that, and so those will increase some costs. But typically, it's a few. We try to keep everything under $3,000, regardless of the size of the machine. And yes, so to operate the machine, you're going to offer a rev share to your location,
Yeah.
and that's pretty commonplace. And then you have the card reader expenses, and that's literally the only expense on top of your product that you're going to have.
What's the average cost of the inventory? Because our inventory is very expensive, and when
Yeah.
it's stolen, it's very expensive. But your inventory might be less, I imagine.
Correct. So let's take it on a small, like a small mini crane. The one that we have is about 14 inches by 14 inches, and so just a little over 1 square foot. Typically, people will put rubber ducks in there. That's a very popular mix. People put other things in there as well, but let's say you put rubber ducks. Rubber ducks going to cost you about 30 cents a piece, but let's look at the economics of one rubber duck. Regardless of what that costs you, 20 cents, 30 cents, or 50 cents, you're going to probably charge $1 per vend on that to that customer, right? Come play my game, put in $1, and they'll play. With the card reader, you can have the opportunity to say, it'll allow you to have $1, $3, $5, or 10 or $20, so you can increase that AOV pretty easily with your card reader and the dynamic pricing there. But that one rubber duck, you're going to get $1 on, or that they're going to play that time. But you have win ratios on these machines, and you have other things, and so on an average win ratio, 1 to 3, 1 to 5, that one rubber duck should net you $3 to $5. So it doesn't really, so the economics between 20 cents and 30 cents, it's minimal when you look at the payout on one side.
Who is the right customer for us to be looking at?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I've got a lot to learn about your ATM side too, because I'm sure there's sweet spots where you're more successful than others. And we're definitely seeing that on the amusement side as well. There's really no spot that has good foot traffic that, this wouldn't work. But we see operators that curate a good experience around their machine have the most success. For example, we have people putting cranes in bars, and just with rubber ducks, they gamify it. They say, "Hey, try to find the duck with the X on the bottom or with the stamp on the bottom. Take that to the bar and get a free gift or get a bar tab or something like that." If your local regulations allow it, and people do very well with that. The gamifying of things. We have locker boxes on top of most machines, and that in itself allows you to have a higher perceived value, and allows repeat or encourages repeat purchases or repeat plays to win the major prize. And so the average player can be, we would say that it's young kids. So anywhere where there's young kids and waiting times in restaurants, or in play areas, or just community areas, those are very successful places where kids, parents just need something to entertain their kids. Alternatively, we're seeing a lot of success in places like country clubs, golf courses, where people come off the back nine and just want something fun to do. Now, I wouldn't put rubber ducks in in a country club, but it's all about curation. And so similarly, and we have people equally successful in cash only environments. You would say a poor demographic, but they're equally successful. We have a lot of people that are successful in flea markets, believe it or not. Mom and dad shopping around, and kid still wants to go play. And then the bars and restaurants are really great players for all ages, and so we're seeing that too. So the older audiences are definitely looking for some entertainment.
And what are the expected returns per unit if it's managed right? What would you say is the average?
Yeah, so we see operators, if they're not making at least $200 a month gross on these things, they're going to pull that machine and look for a better location.
Wow.
We're looking for about 400 to or plus is what like a baseline average, I would say, looks like. Anything over $1,000 is a really great earner, and so that's and those what people are really shooting for, $1,000 plus locations. Sometimes that might take multiple machines in a location, but if you think about pizzerias that you've attended, along your life, some of these pizzerias have 20 machines in them.
Yeah.
They have an arcade in the back, and so you're hanging out with your friends and your family, and your kids are going to go play games for a little while. These are all street operator locations, and I think a lot of operators can be quite successful in that. So I really don't see if the big thing that we're seeing in the industry is quality, and so if we can maintain quality and having good machines and good product, I think you're going to still have a really good customer base that's excited about playing.
Where do you foresee the future of these machines in the next 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, I think the machines are still growing. The routes are there's opportunity all around. People think about saturation, but if I honestly think there's until there's one in every restaurant or whatever, like there's really no saturation. It's just like ATMs, I'm sure, or some other machines, but cell phones and fax machines eventually, reached everyone. And I'm not saying that a claw machine is necessary, or at least a ducky claw machine is going to be found in every retail location. But some gaming device, some entertainment device, is realistic.
That's excellent. What is the inventory that you think operators need to start and develop into something else? Is it the duckies? Is it a,
Yeah, yeah, we see some unique experiences. So the duckies is definitely one that we talked about, the gamification of those. Plush is kind of the big thing. We sell plush, and typically those are even from licensed or a mix of a stuffed animal plush. Those are going to cost you $2 on average or less, and depending on the size of these things as well. But what you're really trying to create is perceived value. And so we also had a customer recently that was incredibly successful earlier this year with 3D printed dragons.
wow.
And the way that he curated this, he had a gas station in Montana, and he printed 3D dragons. So that was when he had that as a side business that he already did, but he would offer those dragons for sale behind the counter for $50 on average. And then you turn around and there was a crane machine where you can play for $5 a try to win. And he had the odds to where you would almost win every time, but he was making over $5,000 a month regularly on that one small machine. And so that was definitely an outlier, but we had operators that are trying to replicate that, and maybe they didn't replicate the $5,000, but they were definitely saw a huge gain. So it's this perceived value versus the gameplay and what the actual costs are. So finding those elements, finding a higher end. I try to encourage our operators because we do have digital electronic payments. We have credit cards. Like, you don't have to just charge $1. You can we've seen environments where people charge $20, and it's just math at the end of the day. So we see people putting high end product in there, and it's as long as you're following your local regulations. I think all of those things are possible.
That's excellent. You are local, so we don't have to go to China to buy this product. We don't have to go across the pond. Tell us, how do we get a hold of you, and how fast and easy is a transaction?
And I appreciate that, Franco. Yes, we are in Chicago, just outside of Chicago. We've got a large warehouse there. We have hundreds of machines in stock all year round, and we sell out a few models, from time to time. But we will most likely have something in stock for you. And typically on a non-holiday spike of traffic or whatever, we will ship that same week. So you order on Monday, it's going to be probably shipped out by Wednesday, and then it's going to be a 2 or 3 day transit to you. So most likely you'll get it within 7 to 10 days at your front door. All machines, we pre-install all payment devices. The thing that sets us apart is that we install and QA everything before it goes out the door. So if you said, hey, I want a cantaloupe device on this, and I want a bill acceptor on it, we install it, we test it, and we set the game settings to your preference. And then by the time that it's shipped and arrives to your door, all you have to do is plug it in. And that is all.
And
you
inventory.
Unbox it, and then you add the inventory, obviously, yes.
Good. So I know a flea market around here that they are good with me. Just go plug it in and then just look at my dashboard and see what happens.
Correct. Yep. Yep. There's it's a brave new world out there, and it's all about locations. I've learned that it's not really about the machines. We try to provide high value cash flowing machines for operators. We really pride ourselves on putting as much value in these machines, specifically for the street operator, that no one else is doing. But this business is a location business. It is not a machine business. So if you have a location, and most ATM operators do, like, you're already ahead of the game. Being able to slide one of these machines right next to your ATM or on the other side of the room, is going to be a fantastic, easy win for you. And yeah, so we'd love to kind of, we know that we've already connected with a few in the ATM groups, and they're huge advocates for this. They're seeing great success, and I think that more and more should be following suit.
So I don't have any clout machine. What's an advice that you will give me in order to ramp up and go?
So if you're starting from zero, what advice should I provide you?
Yeah. I am in the ATM business, and I have been doing this for over almost 15 years, but I want to get started.
Sure.
What advice will you let me know?
Yeah. So you're going to need to have, this is, I'll give you the same advice I would give to a 20-year-old kid who wants to start out too, right? Because there's a lot of those guys that'll, see the YouTube videos, and they want to get started, and they don't, they want a non-traditional career path. Obviously, you have to have an entity, and you go register your entity, and you go register with your local regulators, usually a gaming commission.
Oh, you need a gaming license for this?
Some states, but so it just really depends, and it's usually just like, hey, I'm in South Carolina, they require you to have a sticker on your machine. So you pay $20 for that sticker, and that's it, basically.
Per unit.
That makes you legal.
Per unit.
You say that?
Per unit.
Per unit. That's right. Yeah. So, and every state is different. So you'll need to check on that. But it's really it's not a high bar to jump through. But you go get your entity, you're most likely going to want insurance as well, and State Farm, and we've worked with a company called Vending that offers insurance for amusement and games as well. And typically, that's going to cost you about $50 a month. And you cut. But the very, very first thing, once you've got your business structure set up, is to find a location. You start hitting the streets, you create a little flyer, and you go and you pitch your location. Say, hey, we provide these other machines as well. We'd love to add this in. Here's a typical rev share, 50-50 of gross. Or some people will try to, obviously, it's in your incentive to try to get that down, but I can tell you that locations are good locations. You're going to want to keep it. And so contracts, I think, are very important these days as competition is ramping up out there in the marketplace. So if you have a good location, get that contract, offer that location a really good rev share so you keep them happy and keep you happy at the same time. And then, servicing that customer. So once you have that location, you come and you figure out the machines that you're going to need, and we can ship that item to you, within a week. We can ship it directly to your location or to your garage or your home. All of our machines will come with a lift gate, so you don't have to worry about a dock or anything. It comes and like I said, it's all pre-configured for you. And all of our machines too are relatively small. Some of the smaller ones you can fit in the back of a Camry. The larger ones, we definitely can fit those in the back of a truck, but they're all on casters, and you can just roll them right into place.
No need to anchor them in the ground. They don't hold too much cash.
That's right. We do offer brackets because we do see kids want to tip those things over or try to shake it to get it. But we've got tools for that if needed. The larger machines, we don't really see a lot of anchoring down, but the smaller, sometimes, you might want to, depending on the location.
Okay. That was very concise. I have two more questions for you, Andy. One question that I ask everybody that I interview is, what does success mean to you beyond profits, and how do you use your platform to make a difference?
Success to me personally?
Yes.
Yeah, I bought this business for two reasons. One, I saw this opportunity to take this vending industry out of this, we're candy machines. So historically we've been, we were selling gumball machines. So if you think about a gumball, it's 25-cent vends. And a lot of our operators are still stuck on that 25-cent vend. And you think about the things that inside these machines, inflation, it's very hard to make a profit. But with cards and cash, you could, and those cash and card enabled machines, now we can break that mold of $1 and 25-cent vends. So I bought the business to try to break that. But the other thing is, as a parent, is saw this as an opportunity to kind of create joy moments in communities all across the country. This is an amusement business. It's we sell gumballs and stuffed animals primarily, and I see that as a benefit. There's definitely we've connected with thousands of entrepreneurs and helping people build businesses of their own. I find that incredibly fulfilling. So we just really have a heart for the street operator. This is what Candy Machines has been all about for 30 years. And that's something that the previous owners have instilled in me, and we're dedicated to really, building tools to help others build thriving businesses, but ultimately, to create these joy moments across the country. Is something that's we're all about.
Nothing as precious as seeing a kid winning something and taking it to mom or dad. It's like, I got it.
That's right.
I see that. That's just where can listeners learn more about your business or connect with you?
CandyMachines.com. We've got a lot of promotions, going on from time to time. Encourage you to go there. We also have a Facebook group of about 9,000 plus operators there. You can find us if you search for Street Operator Amusements, and that's where you get.
Excellent, Andy. I appreciate your time in the week of of Christmas. Thank you very much, and this will conclude our episode. Thank you.
Thank you, Franco. Great talking to you.
Thank you.